Or would this mean that this trace... All right, before we talk about the official, well, not official, about the review of this game, I'm going to think out loud, because I have not played Axiom Verge 2. I don't even know if it's out on PlayStation. But what if... So this also ties into me watching the MCU recently. What if by going back and not getting injured in that explosion, now a stronger version of Athetos or Athetos or whatever he's called goes to Sudra, and when they pull Trace into that game, now he's got a stronger version of himself to contend with, one that has experienced what he has experienced, and perhaps they make it like a loop where they're like, well, maybe what we did wrong was we allowed him to return with a whole body, so now we gotta let the accident happen that will blind and paralyze him, and at least then he will be easy to fight. But I am certainly interested in Axiom Verge 2. I loved this game. I've heard it compared to Metroid, being called a love letter, not to the Metroidvania genre, but to Metroid specifically. And I definitely got that vibe. There are massive improvements. I'm going to always compare this to the other retro-inspired game that I recently tried, Bloodstained. Bloodstained took a retro format, including retro controls, where you have to plant your feet and attack. You can only have one weapon equipped at a time, and you have to go through menus if you want to equip something different. This game, you can move and shoot, and you can press a button to plant your feet. Weapons are as accessible as... Well, frankly, they're much more accessible. I was just thinking of Ratchet and Clank, and you have to press and hold triangle in order to get to your weapons, whereas this game, it is just a direction pad away. Trolled Woods pointed out that there's no such thing as a soft lock in this game, and that really got me thinking about how do I proceed with my current build, or is there anything else I could find that would help me proceed? And that's a dope idea, the fact that this game is so smooth that they were able to say there's no soft locks. You will have a way to proceed. Wow. 14 and a half hours to get 77% of the items. Hey, 15 deaths? That's not too bad for a first time playing this game. So, continuing my thoughts about this whole experience, I think it was lovingly made. I think it was gorgeous to play. It just was so smooth. And even though I am not particularly good at platforming games, this one made me feel like a pro. And I think that speaks to taking modern sensibilities and applying them to a retro style. Just because something is retro doesn't mean it has to play like it's 30 years old. You can make a thing run and play like a new game and then give it a veneer of nostalgia. And so I think this game does that incredibly. It does it way better than Bloodstained did, which, you know, made the retro game look modern and pretty, but play like a 30-year-old game. So I guess my final review of Axiom Verge is that this game is wonderful. It is worth whatever price you see it for. I hope to check out Axiom Verge 2 in the near future.